Yeah. It's a full-time job with no benefits. Too many ego, too many fits. Count money with a side of stress.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy still Khalil, back with another video. I lied about last video, you know what I'm saying? My headphones wasn't going dead. I don't know what we talking about. I be lying. I was lying. I was capping. Anyway, I'm not capping to y'all when I tell y'all I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. I mean, who is y'all? I'm talking to my Khalillionaires, what I call my twins and the friends that's locked in. Once again, let's get to this video, man. Y'all know I'm a PR nigga. I love to tell people that they can keep going. All you need to do is have a good PR plan. It don't matter how old you are, how bad you fucked up. Sometimes you fucked up too bad and you can't go past it. But a lot of times it's an easy fix, man. All right. But I don't know about what Will Smith's doing right now. I don't know who's on his PR team or if he even has one at this point. Because a lot of people are asking the same question. Is Will Smith's career broken? I don't know, man. Let's find out what Captain Midnight has to say. Shout out to Captain Midnight for making content so we can react to it. If you like his content, go over there and like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe over here because it's my tribe. I got a rep for the set, baby. All right, let's get to the video.
Captain Midnight.
So I wasn't sure how many people were paying attention to Will Smith's return to music. Turns out, maybe a lot more of you than I thought. His new song, Pretty Girls, is getting a lot of views and is also being roundly mocked online and even in its comments section. And look, I have made 2 videos now talking about Will Smith's career. And I made those videos not to mock him, but because I really like him as an actor and have considered myself a fan since like 5th grade, watching endless episodes of The Fresh Prince on Nick at Night. So I wanted to jump back into the world of Will Smith and where I'd like to see his work go from here, because I think it's clear that the 2020s have been kind of an uphill battle for his career, for obvious and often very self-imposed reasons, but I would very earnestly like to see him turn that around. So let's take a look at where things stand now and what could change. Before I do, thanks to everyone who subscribed. I know the Fallon videos seem to be bringing in a lot of new people lately, so if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see covered, let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to read them.
Meet Oscar. In Shark Tale the game, there are 25 enormous levels where you can...
But alright, Pretty Girls. So I saw this basically right when it went up, before there was any big online backlash to it, and I mean, yeah, it's not very good. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be Anthony Fantano here. If you're looking for takes on how this song fits into the contemporary landscape of hip-hop, you're not really going to find them. But I will say, when I first heard this song, I just thought it was a corny attempt to recapture the kind of fun, feel-good dance songs he had success with like Switch, which, you know, is also a really corny song, but I enjoy it a lot more. But this one is a little different. It seems to be riding this strange line where it wants to be horny while maybe being the single least horny song I've ever heard. Like I said, it's not very good. I'm not going to spend this whole video on Pretty Girls because I don't find it that interesting, but it does seem like an attempt to hold on to something and recapture the kind of fun, low-stakes hits.
Pretty Girls feels like an attempt to say, I'm not gay, y'all. I like pretty girls, but look how gay I'm doing it. So, like, for all the gay people I fuck with, I want y'all to know I'm still slide on y'all. But I'm trying to tell the world that I'm not gay. I love pretty girls. That's how the song sounds to me. But I could be wrong. I'm very wrong a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell y'all don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Just like, share, and subscribe. Join the tribe. Clean as all day, baby.
Had in the past, like Miami. His magnum opus there
Clean as in 5.
is definitely Summertime, and if I had one big criticism of Pretty Girls that goes beyond the surface level of this just being kind of an embarrassing music video to make it 56 years old, it's that it lacks any of Summertime's sense of specificity. That song effectively paints a vivid picture and a real sense of place, which really helps out those great vibes in a way that something more generic like this just can't manage. But really, Pretty Girls is maybe the least interesting of his recent music videos. Girls. He has this really odd video for Interior Barbershop, which he plays a bunch of different characters all weighing in on the state of his own career, none of whom will bash him to his face. And this is a much more interesting document. Same with his song with Big Sean, which sees the pair in a recreation of The Matrix, a movie that Smith famously turned down. Speaking of turning things down, lost in this discussion around Pretty Girls was an interview where he talked about his regrets about Inception, which he was apparently offered and did not do. I'm assuming he was offered the Leo role, which I think clearly would have been huge for him. When I look at all these interviews he's doing lately and consider it alongside this recent album cycle, which feels a bit defensive in songs like Interior Barbershop, and trying to remind us all what we liked about him with Pretty Girls, which, let's be honest, feels like a past its sell-by date holdover from his Fresh Prince persona, it paints a picture, at least to me, of an artist that's trying to figure out where he fits into this current landscape.
I feel like what's happening is, I don't know, I don't want to say he going through a midlife crisis, because people probably going to be trying to say that about me at some point. I'm getting up there, and I won't let nothing go either. But, sometimes we gotta let certain things die so we can be the best of ourselves right now. You know what I'm saying? Because, like me as a father, there's certain things that I know I have to let go. Like, you know, getting upset very quickly about things. I had to start working on that. I didn't want to do that, but I had to. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of y'all niggas like, yeah, we got over on that bitch ass nigga. He a bitch. He a puss ass nigga. No, I'm a father. All right? I don't want to teach them the right things. I don't want them to talk to me from a jail phone and me telling them to make the right decisions, and they ask me why I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. Don't get a little too happy, because I know the law now, and I mean, anyway.
And here's the thing, it's not like people have totally turned their back on his movies. They haven't. The Bad Boys series stuck with Smith after the embarrassment that was, you know, the incident, and it paid off big for them. Bad Boys Ride or Die was a solid hit on a large, if not superhero-sized budget, so he still has a franchise going strong, and that's extremely hard to come by in Hollywood. Something that comes up in every Will Smith video I make is how safe he seems to play it with the roles he chooses, and how frustrating that can be. Now, The Matrix and Django Unchained were the big examples back then, but honestly, I think both of those are understandable to pass on, at least on some level. Like, Matrix was from two new directors that only had one movie under their belt, doing something super ambitious on.
So? That's why I be telling y'all niggas, stop chasing clout so much. Stop worrying about what these niggas done did before. Stop worrying about what their track record look like and who they done did and this and that and one the first and the second and third. This is what I be saying. Y'all be passing up on your blessings now. God be sending y'all the burdens to tell y'all things, and y'all be like, what the fuck a little burden gonna have to tell me? I only listen to big birds. Big birds only. I only want big birds. That's why you're living on Sesame Street, nigga.
Scale they'd never done before. Django Unchained is just a very hard-edged and abrasive movie for Smith, and honestly I totally respect if he just wasn't comfortable with that kind of material. But Inception? Like, really? I found this way more embarrassing than a bad music video. Like, if he is completely on the level about this, and he had the opportunity to say yes to Inception, a Chris Nolan movie who is coming off of The Dark Knight at the time, that's just baffling to me. Now, Smith has said that movies like The Matrix and Inception don't pitch well, and I can see that being the case. They're not as straightforward as your average summer blockbuster, but at a certain point, it's like, why not just trust Chris Nolan to know what he's doing? And I get that that's a bit of a risk, but I don't see how it's a bigger one than agreeing to do 7 pounds. I don't want to make it sound like Will Smith has avoided working with great directors his whole career. That's not the case. He's not in my favorite Michael Mann or Ang Lee movies, but he has worked with them. But I think it is true, and confirmed by his memoir Will, that he has very set elements he wants in place before he signs on to a project. Now, I've gone over this in the past, so I won't linger on it too much here. I will say though, I think it's something that has to change. Like sure, if there's a good script for Bad Boys 5 on the table, do that, but at the same time, I think he just has to lean into taking some stranger roles too. Take a look at Dwayne Johnson. I know people love to bash The Rock and say he plays the same character in every movie, and they're often right about that. To be clear, I like Will Smith as an actor a lot more. But when two big movies that Johnson had really been banking on underperformed, Black Adam and Red One, it became clear that something needed to change. And to The Rock's credit, I think, his next movie is The Smashing Machine, a pretty interesting looking biopic of a troubled MMA fighter from one of the directors of Uncut Gems and Good Time. It's too early to say if this will be a great movie, but I think it's a sign that Dwayne Johnson is comfortable with stepping out of his comfort zone and doing a smaller movie where he's not...
I don't know about that one. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. It might do very well in certain communities. I personally don't see what's going on right now, and I don't see the appeal to go want to see that. But to each his own, and that's your home. So do what you want, baby.
Playing a guy in a jungle explorer outfit. I think Smith really needs that as well. Don't get me wrong, it's not like he only does action movies, but the dramas he tends to pick, like Concussion and even King Richard, tend to be very stylistically safe, down the middle, yeah, I'll say it, Oscar bait. I'd like to see him pop up in a movie, I just never expect Will Smith.
Hey, I'm an actor too, by the way, so if y'all can help me get these casting calls and shit, you know what I'm saying? I can show y'all what it looked like to be a very well-arranged actor. I can do all the things, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's going on. Y'all can lean in. Y'all know what's going on.
To agree to be in, but maybe he has such a specific vision for his movie career that that's just not possible. Another factor here is what I'd call the William Shatner problem. Specifically, William Shatner as James T. Kirk in the first Star Trek movie. I won't go down a whole rabbit hole about this, like you can probably turn to Red Letter Media for that. One thing that's clear watching that movie is it's not comfortable acknowledging how much Shatner had aged since the 60s TV show by the late 70s. When you look at these recent music videos, and even the new Bad Boys movies to an extent, I think there's a tendency as actors age these days to try to just let them play it off like they're eternally, I don't know, maybe 36 forever. And yes, that is a lot easier to do now than it was in the 70s. But eventually, I think it does catch up to you, and I don't think it's something that actors should run away from. And when the next Star Trek movie acknowledged Kirk's age and built that into the narrative with Wrath of Khan, it worked incredibly well and helped kickstart a successful new era of Shatner's career. Because Star Trek II didn't try to deny what was plain for the audience to see, that time had gone by since 1968, and that had an impact on who Kirk was as a character and who Shatner was as an on-screen presence. Obviously, this is not a one-to-one comparison or anything, but I think Will Smith needs a great movie that does something similar. It doesn't have to abandon his on-screen.
He need a brainhead big film, cause look, we don't got the money, Will, but you got the money. You can change this shit, cause listen, contact my people contact your people. We just need the green light. You know what I'm saying? Cause we know how to do this shit. You are somebody I will take on as PR. You didn't do nothing that bad. But you need to let somebody help you now. You can still survive. I believe in these old heads. I believe in y'all niggas. Y'all not too old. You still in shape. You do a workout. You do what I'm saying? You have some situationships and shit, entanglements and things going on in your home. We can work on that. You know what I'm saying? You can still win. But you're going to have to give up whatever you're doing right now. And you got to join Brainhead Big, man. Fuck with us, cuz. We ain't got the money like that. We ain't got the advertisement dollars. People don't know us. We ain't nobody. But Brainhead Big, nigga. Do you hear me? Alright.
movie star persona, but I do think it has to be updated a little bit. There's nothing wrong with aging into the more elder statesman role as an actor. In fact, there's often a lot of great roles to be found there. Now, to be fair, the recent Bad Boy movies have tried to acknowledge it where they can while keeping the exact same formula intact, and with King Richard, it looked like he was kind of okay going more in that direction, but in a lot of other ways, it just seems like he's determined to hold on to his 90s and 2000s persona with an iron grip. Pretty Girls would not have been a great song in 2001 either, but it would at least feel a little less embarrassing. I don't mean to sound too harsh, it's just really strange to watch a video he put out last year, The Truth About Making Music Again, where he alludes to all these big changes in his life and his mindset that inspired him to want to make more music, and how, quote, truth started pouring in from all angles, and for the result to be songs like this. Music with really absolutely nothing to say. Like, it's not a huge deal, but it's clear, at least so far, that he doesn't really want to open up about his personal life that much on this album, beyond songs like Interior Barbershop, which are mostly about his public image. And look, I really try to stick to people's work and not their personal lives in these videos. It's just so...
When he do that, I don't remember seeing these things. Yeah, I follow him on that's what I'm saying. Instagram don't even be showing me people like Will Smith. I follow this nigga. I ain't seen no shit like that.
Much of this music seems to be dancing around that stuff without outright confronting it, which I guess is fine, it's completely his choice to make, but it also makes for a very strange listen, as the songs he's released so far kind of bounce back and forth between generic love songs, poppy dance music that he's a little bit too old to pull off, and stuff like Interior Barbershop where he's acknowledging the slap without giving us any more insight into it. It's just a really odd mix, and I will be a little surprised if the final release is that well received. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, I kind of doubt it though. In the end, I'm a lot more interested in Will Smith the actor than Will Smith the musician, and I hope he's able to lock down some roles, even if they're in smaller movies, where he can express a lot of these feelings through acting, where I do think his range is underrated. He has a few things in the works, like I Am Legend 2 and a crime film for Netflix, but I really hope there's still something big and different down the line for Will Smith, because he's at a really fascinating point in his film career, and I do think all he needs is the right director and the right script to tap into that.
That's real as hell, man. I feel you. All he need is brain head big, nigga. I'm telling you, man. We write scripts. I actor. I'm a creative director. I'm a singer-songwriter. You won't even have to hire no motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? People be like, ain't nobody alive that can work like AI. Well, if you hire brain head big, you can see for your motherfucking self. We got it, baby. Anything you motherfucking need, you hire us. You don't have to hire nobody else. And we doing it by ourselves. So ain't no motherfucking machines. It's just two niggas working their ass off with their big ass brains. We from the hood, nigga. Well, I'm from the hood. He was around hood adjacent type shit. You know what I mean? He real though. You know what I mean? His dad was in the military. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this. Shout out to Khalil as we rest of this part of the end of the video. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I got music out. Go home and listen to motherfucking Foolish. It's out right now. By Still Khalil. Fire Win, DJ Khalil Bay. Ass Out, DJ Khalil Bay. The Recipe, DJ Khalil Bay. Still Khalil with my artists on Brandhead Records. Midnight Flex. Phoenix Bloom. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Man, roll to 1K. Like, subscribe today. I don't know why you trying to play. You already know what the fuck going on. You know you love me. I love y'all too, man. I'm out. Peace.